Hey, howdy and hello, folks. Welcome back into T1A. We got a live auction draft startup going on today. It's going to be a fun one.
I'm going to crush all these tacos. Forget about what you've heard about Taco Tuesday because it is Taco Sunday up in here. We got 10 other tacos in here. It's a taco platter. Everybody get ready for this auction today. This is T1A's first pay-in league where we brought in outsiders, friends we know, the core, the guys we've been playing with over the last couple of years. We've grown really tight with these guys. It's going to be really awesome to do this league this year with them. We've also brought in some new faces, guys who are just getting started in Dynasty. It's going to be interesting to watch those guys grow, how they build their teams. We've already had some action-packed moves to start the year here. I mean, not the brightest moves, but in his defense, his own defense, boom, CTS making moves this morning, paying cash out to get draft picks, sold auction money to teams and got their draft picks. Bold move, we'll see. Says he wants to go young. I think it's a little early to make that call, but I'm not the manager of that team.
So I'm planning to recap this all year long, keep up on the trades, even if it's like a 1-minute video, 15-minute video.
Yeah.
So what we had action today, so $10 auctions was $10 of auction money was sent over to Rob to get his 205 pick in the rookie draft.
Ludicrous.
And then he also, Boom also gave up $12 of auction dollars to get the 112 from me.
That didn't seem so bad to me. I think I was just grumpy because I had a bid in at $5 and wanted to get last look, and you gave it to me. And you came back with $12 as the last thing I've heard, and I was like, fuck that. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's good potential in this draft that those two picks are good picks. And for what he paid, I mean, fuck it. But, you know, we'll have to see. It's about time to get this thing going. Okay, so we're a super flex league, so we're, you know, basically 2 quarterbacks. At least that's how most super flex leagues are looked at. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers have to start, 1 tight end have to start, 3 flex players, as you can see, and those flex players are, you know, wide receiver, running back, tight end. You can't play quarterback there. We are pretty deep on the bench. You know, being a dynasty, you can't see that where Tank's at because he can't show, but if I'm not mistaken, I think we're like 20, 18 deep, something like that. Pretty good size bench.
Total of 26 rounds.
Total of 26 rounds, and we're starting what?
I think 10.
10. Yeah, 10. So, okay, 16 deep
16
bench. That's not bad.
Yep.
We have a taxi squad in here? I can't remember.
We will have 2 taxi squad, but those won't be, I think, available until after the rookie draft.
Barf. Okay.
I don't remember, though. They could be available right away.
Fuck it. We'll see. Another thing is to point out here, scoring. So 6 point per passing touchdown, tiered PPR. So we are 1.5 point per catch for tight ends, 1 point for wide receiver, and half point for running backs. Other than that, pretty fucking cut and dry. We finally got the draft order for the rookie draft laid out a couple of days ago. That got dispersed. Everybody knows where they're picking at. So that's going to come into play a little bit here because the guy who's got, you know, the 101 and the 201, it's going to affect how he builds his team in this auction versus like the guy like me who got the 106. Even though it was cheap, it's one of those ones where it's like, I can't really rely on that pick. I can't say I'm going to get a running back there because there's a chance Gibbs isn't there. And then, okay, great. I got to take the quarterback that's there, but maybe it's not the quarterback I like. It's kind of a jumbled piece. I think it's going to be a really good trade piece that I intend to use to my advantage when the time comes. But for now, we'll see.
All right, we'll start this out here in 1 minute.
If you look up above at all of our max bids and how much money we all have and whatnot.
We are full. We're ready to go.
Oh, cut me off. I'm in the middle. This is going to be good. If anybody didn't catch the auction bid that we did for the rookie draft picks, this is why. Some of this is messed up. We did some buying, stuff like that. So a little bit of these are messed up. We'll cover that probably while we're talking today. But if we are good to go, let's fucking rock and roll. Let's get this going.
Ready to rock?
Yes, I am excited to see who you throw at first, being numero uno.
The draft here. Started off with Kyle Pitts.
This is sneaky bidding here. It is. I think it's this is an amazing back and forth between two guys who are probably a little stubborn, might be running at price. I don't really think they're running at price.
I don't think they're policing it. I don't think they're
I don't
trying to
really
run
think
it
they
up
are.
to
I
make
think they're,
sure.
yeah, I think they're both just kind of going at it. Okay.
All right, you're up. Now, do you?
This is my strategy. And so
Yeah,
anybody who's
and that's
watching this,
something I was
this is
gonna
what I
ask
do.
you.
Yeah, I throw up guys that I'm like, what would I pay for this dude? And if it's pennies, or if I think he's going to end up being a dollar guy later on, or somebody's going to try to value him out, like, and I might pay $4 for him, but I might not have to.
Yeah,
Like, I'm okay with this.
and I think
A
it's a
1 year
great strategy.
starter.
Sometimes, like somebody that's hot during, like a hot topic, bring them and throw them out there and see what the piranhas do.
Okay, Justin Fields
Whoa!
here. Quick jump from
Oh,
Fallon to 46. Now, look, I like what is going on in Chicago. Like, they brought in Dante Foreman to help out with the first and second downs. Khalil Herbert is a great running back. He can do it all, but he's not a guy that's big enough to
well,
bear the workload. Fields is great on the ground. Trading for DJ Moore, getting all the extra assets. They still got the ninth pick overall,
yep.
I think. Yeah, so ninth pick overall, another first rounder next year. It's not like the Panthers are going to be any fucking good. So
And the second
that
round
move was
pick
great.
this year,
Yeah.
second in the 25.
Yeah, I like where Fields is going. I'm not going to pay for it though because I still think he has developmental years and overall strategy. I don't go for guys that aren't going to help me win year 1, year 2. I have a 2-year window. I'm trying to win it year 1, year 2. I rebuild after that potentially.
Yeah,
We can get into more of that as we go along and we start building teams. But
it's interesting because people have big wallets at the beginning. It's funny to see like what they're willing to pay for certain players.
yeah, and deeper strategy. I hate paying up for running backs early
Yeah,
because I feel like you end up overpaying in the long run. It feels like, and it's such a volatile position. But I don't know. I'm definitely, being how early it is, being this our first auction draft of the year, first startup, I'm going to be cautious. I don't think I'm going to dive in too deep. There's some things like if you have an idea on how you're going to build your team and you go after it hard, I say do it now. Probably the best time.
there's
Hard to gauge
there's like
values right now.
different strategies like studs and duds and
Yeah,
all
and
of
hard
that.
like
But there's so many names for them now. But just flow, like see what's there, see what's happening. Come in with players you would like, but
this
not
should
have
go
to
higher.
have.
Yeah, this should go higher. This is the beauty of auctions, though. Every guy is a strategy pick. Every guy you're looking at and you're trying to decide: does the squeeze equal the juice? Yeah, I think Brees for 40. That's pretty damn good. Especially
I
if
think
you
it's
know,
good.
like if you're coming in and you know you're building that. Hey, I'm going to win year 1, year 2 of this league. That he's a good pickup.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how Josh Allen goes here.
he's gonna hit the 70s probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got into the 80s.
Yeah, there's a 70 right there.
I think he should touch 90s. Like he's just that fucking good.
Yeah, there's the 80s. But
I'd also like to point out that we're in a few leagues with the Keta kid, who's our representative from Down Under in Australia. And we've never done a startup with this guy. He's just taken over ugly ass orphans from leagues we started up in a fucking hurry in the past 2 summers. So I'm interested to see what he does in this
85 for
draft.
Josh
And
Allen.
85 for Josh Allen, I think that's value. Like he got value there. I think that was a good one for him. Waddle.
Don't know where I'm at with Waddle. He's been the hardest person for me to place.
Yeah, like I want to invest in him, but he just kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Well, I think last year you were selling him for first round picks and stuff, and it's like I don't see it. Like I don't know. He had Tyreek and Tua going into the year. We're like, I just don't know.
I'm really happy we're not doing this live because I am right about now paying some super attention. I've never owned Patrick Mahomes in a league.
Yeah,
Never.
why not? Cost.
Just never happened.
There's 90. Oh, 89. That's you.
He can have him.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else.
So that puts him just capped. $80 to fill 24 more spots.
Yeah, and why can I not remember how many starters we have? 12?
10 starters, 16 bench.
Okay. So yeah, 8 more starters plus a bench. We could probably give a damn about his bench at this point. Maybe he's like whatever, $1 for the bench, but rough spot, and that was strategic. Like I would have paid more. Like if I would have been with somebody who didn't have a quarterback, I probably would have gone up to like 94 there. At that point, it's like, hey, I'm gonna strategically place it here. Let's hamstring one team a little bit.
So it is 6 point for passing touchdown. There are 2 point bonuses for 50-yard plays or larger.
I can't.
I
I want to. I wanna.
hitting the 86 was painful.
Yeah, I wanted to really bad right there. Yeah, if you didn't see that, what was that? Ended up being 86 total.
87 total.
87 total.
Yep.
I mean, that's fair value, but I'm not trying to win this league by getting a bunch of fair value guys. We're gonna go ahead and walk through this, and Tony and I are gonna snipe the shit out of each other. And when we both get silent and all you hear is clicking, it's because we like the same guy. He might edit that out. Probably not what I said, but the blank parts. The blank parts.
The long parts where we're just clicking.
This seems like stealing too.
Yeah. His price is the lowest it's ever been. Aside from when he was drafted.
Yeah,
where do you cop out? Where do you top out though for starting quarterback? Boom.
I'll top out right there.
I think I'm comfortable with that. I'm good with that of value.
Anybody else but you, and I'm just sitting here just fucking ramming you. I could have at least got you to 65, I bet.
I would have gone 63 was my max.
One more raise.
One more raise and you would have had it.
You'd have probably tempted me at 64. See, and here's like a play I want to make. This dude is so young still. 23 years old. He's the premier NFL wide receiver. How long is Cousins around? Does it matter if it's Cousins? But it's so early, and the price tag on it is like
that's what I worry about.
Yeah, I can't hamstring myself.
Year?
I don't know that it falls off because even when Cousins says, well, shit, I can't say that because I can't recall the time Cousins has missed that Jefferson had somebody else throwing him the ball.
Yep.
So I don't know. Do I think Cousins is the reason he's good? Fuck no. So do I think a capable quarterback? Sure. But yeah, you're right. He's still worth that. I mean, he's still worth that. It's just
the mock drafts that have Hendon Hooker going to Minnesota.
I kind of like that too. I haven't seen that. Here's another big one. Jalen Hurts. Man.
He's not going for that cheap.
I mean, definitely you got to price hike it.
No. Okay, 70 is where I'm stopping. He's got him for 71. I'm out. That is a steal.
Yeah, Rob thinks the same thing.
Thanks, Rob.
Dude, I guarantee right now, I wish he was watching the video at the same time like we were live, and I guarantee he's just in the Discord screaming the word cheap.
Wow. Fucking girl.
That's great. You got 3 dudes.
Yep.
Now you need to nominate. Nominates. Cole Kmet. I like that. That's a good offer. Boom, boom. Knocking in for $1. I'll start the bidding off right now. Oh, Kai coming in heavy. Let's see who wants to go after that. That's a tough commit. Boom. If you're out there listening, which you're not, you should be bidding right now. That's a
head. He's bowling. He's bowling and drafting. What a guy.
He shouldn't be bowling. I thought he said he was going to be done by now. That was pretty cheap, actually.
Holy crap, that was cheap.
Here's one.
Cheap.
I'm just going to fucking... Oh, fuck. Sorry. I'm hitting wrong buttons. Here's one I'm going to love throwing this one up.
You're not getting that for $1.
I love it, dude. I love this shit.
I think he goes for 25. It's so fun because Jordan Love's definitely one of those players where you're like, is he going to be good? I mean, he showed something good last year, but you think at some point they would have wanted to take over if he was like the guy.
Well, I think that's this year. You know what I mean? Like you can't. They already had one.
Sound so confident. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they already fucking completely screwed the pooch with the Brett Favre thing, and they're treading water right now. And with Rodgers going to the Jets, like everybody's just hounding at it. Like, just give him a 3rd or a 4th. I was hopefully out on that. Who the hell just went? Man, I should be paying more attention.
$23 for Jordan Love.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And to the well-deserved guy, the Packer fan of the group.
Yeah.
I should have bid more. I bet he would have went to 25.
He would have went to 25. I bet.
And fuck. All right, Mike's going to go quiet for a little bit. It's not that I have a man crush on Dak Prescott or anything like that, but what I really do love is the fact that Mike McCarthy is going to call the plays next year.
Yep.
And that just means like they're not going to give a shit.
And they're going to
it's why they were okay.
Big plays.
Yeah, I think that's why they were okay letting Zeke walk.
Ellen Moore walk.
Yeah.
Told him to kick rocks. I think Dak has a great season coming up. There's a couple places where I've traded down from Jalen Hurts to Dak and 2 first-round picks. But it's definitely going to be a good season for him. I think he gets a little bit more of his rushing ability back. I think he hits closer to probably 400 just because he's going to need to scramble a little bit more. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen down in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're not wrong, but I think they're
Well, he
going to
could.
invest a little
That's
bit more in
fine
that
with me,
offensive
too.
line. I think they're going to invest a little more in that offensive line this year, and
Well, they showed they don't have to go
protect
get
Dak.
a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I
CeeDee's
think
going to be
there's
just
still
fine.
lots of time for them to sign a vet that's willing to go cheap.
But I kind of draw the line right here at this $53 mark this early. You know what I mean? Like, there's still good guys out there.
And with the rushing upside, I mean, he'll have, like I said, maybe 452.
He could be
Not bad.
done. He could be done at rushing too, though. He's getting older.
Yeah. At 26-year-old age cliff.
Just saying.
This is a player that I am having trouble with as well. Waddle and Wilson are my two kind of bugaboos in placing in, because everything in me wants to say he's going to be an elite receiver, possibly top 5. But until I see a quarterback that's in New York that can throw to him, I can't do that.
Who was there this year?
Exactly.
And what did he finish? Wide receiver 21 in PPR.
Low end wide receiver 2.
Mm-hmm. With Mike White and Joe Flacco throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to bet it. Whoops. Well, 34 for Garrett Wilson to me was cheap as hell, and I should have jumped the gun sooner, but I was thinking about it a little bit. But I think that was cheap.
See.
So, steal.
That's what happens sometimes, though. You can get a good player every now and again, just sneak one in. Jonathan Taylor, $35. You better go for more than Brees. One more dollar. $2 more. There we go. 39 for Jonathan Taylor. Absolute
cheap.
low.
Cheap.
Wow.
You should be bidding. I just don't want to get caught holding the fucking bag here. These guys that are bidding, I don't really know all that well. So it's like, I don't really know.
Well, and I just can't. I've got some big money already invested, so hard for me to police these and get stuck holding the bag. I've done that with one too many leagues.
Yeah, me too. The ones I've been the most successful in are the ones I'm just kind of laid back in. I let this first rush kind of happen. You know, yeah, a couple guys are going to come off the board that are probably a little cheaper than they should be. For the most part, I'm not freaking out about anything. There's still a ton of talent. We're not that many guys in.
I didn't get to my pre-draft ritual. That is cheap. Son of a bitch. Ryan has just got 2 steals. Kelsey for $31 and Garrett Wilson for $34.
God damn, I feel like that was cheap for 202, but I couldn't get into it. I don't really trust him.
Come on, $1 more. There we go. Got Lamar Jackson cheaper than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we're back. Just had to check into the Discord voice, so everything's going in there. Old Rob's keeping them going, of course.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's the color commentary over on Discord right now.
Yeah, he's knocking it out of the park. I feel like because I have no players, I'm pressured and I can't talk right now because I'm way too into the draft. I get like one guy and like
just let it flow. Yeah, when it comes in, and where I'm kind of at right now, like, okay, we're in the draft, we're getting going, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow.
Yeah,
circular,
something, I guess,
like a circle. But I think this is a point where Boom CTS is kind of seeing the downfall of his strategy of trading away some auction dollars early. So he's got 3 players. He's got a total of $117 left. I've spent big on 3 players, but I still have 152 total left. Ryan, he's got some good value. He's got 168 with 3 players.
I have no players.
And all of your money.
Nah, I lost $9 for 1/6.
But
I love really this. I love watching. I love this right here. This is what I was hoping to get. So
Yeah.
far, I think I've gotten that out of the guys I've nominated so far. What I wanted. Hey, actually a good little bid there. I'll throw a 4 on that.
I like Dalton. I just don't know where I put him. You know, do I put him tight end one?
For
I think it's kind of
$4 and
fringe.
for $4 and a dude who could very well click with the new rookie quarterback in Houston, I like it.
Did he sign
Especially
1 year?
I think so, yeah.
Like Space Aids is slowed down just a little bit. Still wanting some CMC.
Steal. I'll take that value all day.
There you go.
Barf. Just gonna let everybody know right off the bat, I'm hitting the pass button on this guy. I don't trust this fucking guy for nothing. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna plant my flag on that.
I'm finally happy there's a new offensive coordinator, but what is around him? What
I think the
talent
only
is
reason
there?
the only reason he was successful is because of the air raid offense that was put in there, and he was able to just chuck it around and didn't have to read a lot of defenses and stuff like that. So gets put into a real offense. I think he's gonna get shown out.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong, a lot of athletic ability, but I'm not gonna pay the price for him.
Coming off another injury,
Yeah, come off an ACL.
another injury plagued season.
Yeah, gonna lose Hopkins.
From
Looking
being a
like
small guy running.
dun dun dun. Bryce Young. I'm the only guy without a quarterback. Quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterback. I
There's
should
still
probably
some
get
good ones out
myself
there.
a quarterback before I shit the bed.
You still got lots of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
See, and then of course, like just stop throwing up quarterbacks. Every player doesn't have to be a fucking quarterback.
Get him out of the way early.
I think I got into this shit last year. That's what I did. I punted running back. Was like, I don't even care. And I ended up at the end like thinking I was gonna get all these $1 and $2 guys, and just kept getting sniped for like $3 and $4. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind.
So rough.
One of the worst auction experiences I've ever had.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. I've been through a couple of those now, and it's just so rough. Because you're like, okay, this guy's a sneaky guy. $1. Somebody's like, no, I'll take him for $2. You're like, I can't do anything.
Yeah. When you try to pile those dollar guys at the end, you just get ripped. Too cheap for a guy that's going to be a fucking #1 QB.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle comes in. Kyle comes in at the last second.
You guys done bidding? Cool.
Yeah. And that's actually still a pretty good deal. I just fucking couldn't bring myself to do it.
Great move.
Him not being committed beyond 23 freaks me out because he's shown to be a money chaser. Minnesota kept putting money in front of him, gave him the fully guaranteed contract, and now he's like getting ready to cash in again, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I've been skeptical of the Sun God every year, and it's going to be another season of me being skeptical about him.
Although I tell you what, if JSN comes in and shows out, like if he has a season like Amon-Ra did in his rookie year where he like wins you championships, and you invested high in him like everybody's going to do, I think it solidifies Amon-Ra, and he just skyrockets up boards, especially if he just continues to do what he's done year in, year out.
Well, I think if the Detroit offense comes in and does well, if they are on the positive side of win-loss, it's a big win for them, their season, because they were down to just shambles.
Yeah, I also think there's a reason.
How long is that going to be good enough?
David Montgomery to replace Jamal Williams, and it was an age thing and whatnot, getting more youth. I'm going this route. I'm sorry, I gotta have this tag.
I understand.
I'm going this tag. Fuck you, Vito. Getting this. I forgot even what we're talking about now because I think Trey Lance and CMC, it's basically like you're blocking down what feels like 60 to 70% of the 49ers offense. I'll take that all day.
Not only that, but possibly 60 to 70% of their running offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, probably more like the 80, 90% of their running offense.
If he lets me have him for this right here, I'm just going to be happier than a pig and absolute fucking shit. Did I get him? I got him? Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Value.
So, see, patience is a virtue. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Trey Lance, you're on your side of him. Fine, whatever the fuck. But the Niners invested in him heavily, and they've turned out to be more right than they've been more wrong. So,
whoa. Slow down, Jella.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I really like this. I really do. And I'll divulge this right now. I'm going to be the guy that puts us at 30.
Oh,
because that's about where I'd bet. Okay. Well, then there you go. Boom. Okay.
And then
Like
there
that
it
seems
is.
fair to me. He's a young kid. He's going to get another 4 years. He's going to get with Dable.
Yep. They're
I just
putting
can't. Can I
tools
pay a
around
dollar
him.
more? Yeah, I'll go one more dollar.
They're putting tools around him. So that's going to be, can he succeed?
Okay.
They tried
Last
this
bid.
last time, but they gave him
Ooh,
Galladay
okay.
and Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. And like, oh, we'll get you a tight end. We'll send
But they
away Evan
still,
Ingram.
yeah, but they still haven't locked anybody down. They still have jack shit there. And so
Yep.
now you're just banking that they continue to bring in. But he did well last year, and even
Yeah.
without any weapons.
So one of the things I just did for the Tank Teaches is looking at rushing quarterbacks. He had over 700 yards rushing. That's almost 40 yards a game.
Yeah, he's getting utilized well. The one thing that is bogging me down here is there's other guys on the board still that I'm more interested in,
Yeah.
that I have more faith in.
40
so
is too much for
yeah,
me.
I felt good about driving that price up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple other guys here that I'm interested in when I'm looking at quarterbacks that, now that everybody's kind of starting to fill them rosters out a little bit, yeah. Oh, who did that? Who just nominated Damian Pierce?
Space AIDS.
You fucking prick. I hope you're watching this. This is too early for him. It's actually really good. I love the nomination. And
I think he falls right into where we like nominations. It's going to be somewhere that people spend some money on.
It's gonna knock me out really bad, just because right now I have this just gross feeling that they're not gonna just let him be the guy.
Yeah.
Like he showed last year he's gonna get hurt. They gave him the workload and it just didn't work out. So there's risk.
I think they brought Devin Singletary in to help float in spots that he's not so solid in. I mean, he's all right in pass catching, but I think that's where Devin Singletary steps in a little bit more and takes some of that receiving work, pass blocking.
It's his draft capital that kills me too, especially on a team that's rebuilding as much as they are.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have a rookie quarterback, so he's facing stack boxes. I mean, it's not like they had anything great last year, but man, that's a good deal.
Not bad.
That's a good deal. Kai, if you watch this, which you probably won't because you're lazy and I don't know what you look at when you're pooping, but good pick.
He has short Canadian poops. Maple syrup just helps it slide out.
That's gonna go over well in the group.
Yeah, we've got 3 Canadians in our group here.
25% Canadian. That makes us international, so it's all a tax write-off.
Well, it's 3 Canadians and 1 Australian.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're diversified.
We're all over the place.
We're almost good enough to be in Disney.
Definitely.
Oh, I don't know where Deshaun Watson is going to be. I sure hope for the best. I like seeing comebacks. Who I am, but
Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, DPJ.
You mean Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore. Forgot about the trade of that.
Yeah, not Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is on the Dallas.
That's right. Cooks went to Dallas?
Yeah. Dallas got Gallup, Lamb, Cooks.
Sorry, I'm bidding on Deshaun Watson.
No, you do what you got to do. Or you can let him go 60 right here. Let him go. Come on. Somebody bid in.
Thank you. Those are my quarterbacks. I'll take that all fucking day. And I'm not done. If there's a lesson I learned in the last couple of years, it's make sure you have a good third quarterback, because oh my God, when it
can change quick.
When it hits the fan, it hits the fan. And if you're a competitor and you got to go get one by time, it can hamstring the shit out of you. Y'all can have this guy. Absolute pass.
I'll drive it up a little bit here. Take it up to 30. There you go. You can have him. Got to sweat out a couple seconds there, but
yeah, you did.
All right.
Good value. Even if he doesn't pan out, he's still going to carry value for a few years. You got to like that. It's a good pick. Yeah, can he pick it for $32?
Like, wow.
It's not Deshaun Watson for 59. And see, here's another one that's tough to buy into because, like, how do you know where your roster's at already? Like, you're making a choice right now. Exactly. 1 year. You're making a choice right now that you are going for the win this year.
26, 1 year contract.
Injury prone. No other weapons on the offense, so it's him. It's very eccentric for his
Well, and they
offense, which
showed like even if they
that's a good
float
thing, but
everything through him, he's just not enough to carry the team because he
still a
started
pretty good
breaking
price.
down.
Still a good price.
Yeah,
That's a good price.
that's a very good price. Another deal for Ryan. Nice auction so far for him, except for the Trevor part. But
Oh, here's one I'm gonna just love throwing out there. This will make you laugh.
Rob's gonna try to come snipe you for the Dalton Schultz, and he can have him for $4. Oh,
Kyle, don't. We're playing the jokes.
no,
It's jokes.
he's
Well,
not even on the team. There we go, Rob. Ooh, Kyle.
he'll find a team though. He'll find a
Yeah,
team. He'll end up being a flex play for or for Kai, and for $4, that's not bad. You could get worse guys, but I didn't think. I thought one of our other knuckleheads would jump in more on that.
I was expecting Rob to come back for $4, but seems like too
This one
much.
should be interesting here.
Kind of interested to see where this
Jameson
goes.
Williams, yeah, very interested. Especially so what Amon-Ra went for 32.
Yep.
PPR machine. We are 1 point per. Jameson Williams probably going to be the big play guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Sleeper even only hasn't projected at 858 yards. It's the
It just doesn't
touchdowns,
show.
though.
Yeah.
It's the touchdowns, like capability of breaking 10.
And 20 is right where I'm going to stop, and that's where I'll get him. I'll take
20's
it.
where you get him at. That's not bad.
I'm expecting wide receiver 2 numbers. Probably low wide receiver 2. A little inconsistent first part of the year. I mean, coming off a leg injury, he got to play a little bit, saw some targets. I think he's going to come back and be a good, steady, 6 for 60 type of guy. Like 2 catches are going to get most of the 60 yards.
I like the Chase Williams here. Two young wide receivers. Locked into first round contracts.
I don't have anybody over 26 right now.
Yeah, just yet.
Yet. But I'm going to add it in. I mean, you've got to have some vets that are going to be a year or two. Like Adams for 26, that's a great price.
Yeah, paired with Jimmy, that's not bad. I should have been paying more attention and listening to your fucking ass.
Yeah.
I would have just drove it up though, because I don't really want Adams on my team.
I don't either.
Like, yeah, the way I'm kind of built right now, I'm teetering. So these next couple of guys that I decide to have on my team are going to make a choice here for me.
Well,
but I'm going to play the values.
Go ahead.
I'm still going to play the values, and I just don't like the way the Raiders organization is going. It'll be interesting to see how well Jimmy G compares into to Derek Carr as far as stats go.
Yeah.
That's just cheap. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, but like that's just too cheap.
Big play Tyreek. I think even at 30, it's a solid. Waddle went for 31, and they keep going back and forth on who's number 1, number 2 in a lot of drafts that I've seen. They're just whoever's up. Sometimes they pick Waddle first, and sometimes they pick Tyreek first.
Okay. Well, I've managed to do what I set in to do that I didn't think I was going to do, which was get 2 good quarterbacks. I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Get a star running back and get my superstar wide receiver. So now I'm going to be pretty boring for the last part of this. Yeah. So at least for a little bit, because I'm going to definitely.
This is what I see right here is the value on T. Higgins is just too high for me.
Yeah, people I don't like getting into.
People just have way too much invested in T for my liking.
Yeah, he's still an absolute stud. Don't get me wrong, right? But he's in a position where he could get traded. It's going to have a tough time, or the Bengals are going to have a tough time keeping him, Burrow, and Chase all signed and all happy.
And we all know that it's Burrow and Chase first.
Yeah, that's definitely like Chase is the Jerry Rice and Higgins is the John Taylor. If you know what I'm talking about. I hope I didn't date myself on that one. But yeah, like Hopkins right here, man, I love this because he's going to go somewhere. I think the Cardinals are going to do him right. He's going to get a choice where he wants to go. To be honest with you, I think in Baltimore would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to put 16 on him, but like, I think he's a 1-year wonder.
Yeah, that cliff is coming quick for.
Yeah, I can't really do much with him afterwards, and Again, it's another guy where I'm like, that's a decision maker. If I spend the $18 on that guy, now I'm a go for it right now team, and I don't really like building my teams that old where I'm completely fucked in 2 years.
Yeah.
There's a little longevity that you can put into it. I'd love to get Diggs here, but I think he's going to get outpriced on what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
and I'm out. I would love to have Diggs, but I just can't put that money out.
Seems cheap for Najee, but like I've already gone my hero running back.
Yeah.
You know,
I would mind having him, and then I could really just focus on whatever flex value comes.
it's like you got him, so
Yeah. So that's what I'll do.
yeah. So that's where I'm headed. Until you feel
Well,
that
what I'm gonna
quarterback,
do?
that second quarterback is going to that's going to be an interesting thing to see you fill there.
Yeah.
Who else is left with a second needing a second quarterback? Harper, Ryan, Boom, Rob. Damn, Sprite's got me burping. And
It's
Tank
got
all
me
need
perfect.
second quarterbacks. I am probably in dire need
Nobody
of a
has a
third.
3 at least.
Yeah, I am dire need of probably a third. That's cheap. That's cheap, but I don't like a running back in that position on a 1 year. I couldn't afford to put the money into him. Did you nominate him?
No, but I sure hit that button pretty quick.
I fucking bet you did. It went quick.
Hey, wait, quick!
See, I would like to get in on this. I would. But I have a slight theory this year, and believe me, you know too. I'm a pretty heavy Wilson investor from last year. But I have a theory they're going to come in. I think they're going to pound the crap out of the ball.
Yeah.
And he'll put up decent stats, but you got to wonder, like, does he hover in that like quarterback 14 range or so? You're not willing to spend that on him as your second?
Let him roll.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not that sold on him though.
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten a couple of the cheaper guys and still afforded him because he would have been a really nice third.
Yeah.
Really good trade piece.
That's Talon's third, so he's first to 3. Here we go with more quarterbacks on the board.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the theme here for a minute, especially with so many people needing
Ooh,
two.
that almost timed out at $2 there.
Why is this? Oh, that was 2 quick bids. I'm out. Pretty cheap. Still a tough spot for you. You're right there. That's a tough one there. But that would have locked you in for a minute. Spend 33 on Devontae Smith. This one, I'm very interested to see what happens because I feel already he's over the limit of where I would have bought him at. It's a good price. Harper over there building a pretty solid team. Speaking of guys getting values, this is too much for Nick Chubb. Tony's having a little bit of technical difficulties with the microphone. Come closer, we cannot hear you.
We're back on track.
Shoo! Chubb for that cheap. 6.
I don't know that I can go 20 for Eckler.
I don't think I can either, especially if you don't know where he's going right now.
Well, he wants to be traded, but if he's not, do they diminish his role? Like,
I mean, you really can't. Like, what's he? You know, he's kind of fucked because he's under contract.
yeah.
So yeah, he's kind of
28.
Doesn't have a lot of leverage. Yeah. Plus, considering what they think of him, and he goes for 28, 29.
Yeah. $28.
I mean, here's what it is. But god dang.
Ooh, the cup.
See, here's another guy that everybody else can know that I'm out on. I'm not investing. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to invest in him in startups. The Rams are a fucking mess right now. I would invest in Matthew Stafford if he was like a buck, but I think they're going in one more run. They're all going to go hammer it out, see what they can't do, and if they fall flat on their feet this year, then they're just going to restart the whole fuck.
Yeah, just McVay just walks away like, meh, okay, well, I got you guys a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he just Paytons it, right? Sean Paytons it, just fucking 1-1. I'm out. All right, bye. I'll go back. My contract's up, what, in another year? Okay, I'll see you guys. Yeah, he'll probably have to get traded. But even then, I can't get back behind these guys. I think they'll have good years if you build a team like right there for Vito. Like that's a perfect spot to bring that up. To me, I think that's decent money, but that could have went to like a different wide receiver that's gone so far. You know what I mean? Like a couple more dollars into a guy and you're getting a lot more clarity in the long run. Here's something I'm talking with too is I don't really know what to do at tight end right now.
I don't know what to do with Mark Andrews.
Yeah, Kittle takes me out of the game here because I already have Lance and C-Mac. So Looks like I'm going to probably be slumming it at tight end, to be honest with you. Like, that'll be my strategy here. I'd rather go heavier to the flex and then have to start running back and wide receiver I have to fill still
Hmm.
than overpay for one of these tight ends. Especially because now it feels like it's so
The
fucking muddled at the top.
market's so cheap right now. I mean, if you got Pitts at 37, Kelsey at 31, like this is going to top out at 32, 33 at the most.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea of just getting a couple get you by guys and investing some other dudes and then
Yeah.
diving in and going after some of the tight ends in this draft class that are coming up. You know what I mean? Try to get that's the
Get a
cheap,
1, 2
right?
year guy.
Yeah, that's the cheap you're getting, right? Like Schultz
Yeah.
is right now, like what? Who else in Houston is a target for the new quarterback coming in?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like,
Nico.
I like that. Yeah, just give you a guy who's going to get some targets for right now, and then like I'll even give this out there too. I'm for sure you're probably on board, but like Trey McBride,
Yeah.
he's going to be the starter going into next year for the first couple weeks while Ertz gets his shit together.
Yep. Absolutely.
I wish I was paying more attention. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Who was that?
Goff just went off for
Off for
27 bucks.
27. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not upset about that. I wish he would have went for
That's kind of
more.
where he's at. I mean, still got some people with some money. Yeah, I think this would be a perfect fit for Kyle's team right here. Come in and get a decent value on a running back. Be a great second for you. That'd be a ridiculous second. That way you're not relying on Javante to put up running back 1 numbers.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process here. I really like him with Sean Payton too because he has all the skill set of Alvin Kamara.
And he's worked in a committee. He's shown he could be good in a committee.
Yeah, he can be effective. This is probably where I top out though. If I get bid here again, I'd rather just go somewhere else with this, but I'll take it right here. Yes. Okay.
26. Nice. Great pickup. And good value.
Okay. So we got to start. Still gonna have to fill that, but I play late running back anyway. So now I can draw my focus more and just sit back and wait to see sons of bitches. I really like Ramondre Stevenson. Why do they do this to me? I really like Ramondre Stevenson this year. I don't give a shit who they bring in. I think
It
they're going to
doesn't
give this
matter.
kid, yeah, I think they're going to give this kid full just go fucking get him. And we're only bringing bodies
The
in
only
to give you a
person I would
raise.
worry that if they brought in would be Bijan, but there's
Yeah.
no way that New England goes running back that early.
No.
So there's no worry. Doesn't matter who they bring in.
Mm-hmm. You know, the more homework I've done on it, and I know in our last video I said I was going to get out a running back like the 5 running backs after Bijan, but it is proving to be absolute a pain in the ass. I know I could just plant my flag on something, but I don't want to just throw it out there and then be all wishy-washy and start changing a bunch of shit around, even though I know it's going to probably change a lot. But I want to be able to put the content out there I know.
That's cheap.
What I'm getting to is that I just missed out on Ramondre Stevenson for 26 cars.
Yep.
I looked at Bijan, and then you start like hearing what people are saying, and now there's shit floating around that he's not as a big a prospect or a first round guaranteed pick. If Bijan goes into the second round, he's going to end up somewhere where he is the man.
Yeah.
And I don't think his home run speed or lack thereof, people are bringing up so much, is going to be the biggest factor in the NFL because I think he's going to be just fine on 15, 18 carries. He's going to get goal line work. And sure, he may not be the guy that every week you're like, this dude's going to bust a touchdown if he sees a crease, but he's got to be so fucking consistent. He's still the number one guy. Don't let everybody freak out. And when he goes in the second round in this year's draft, don't freak out about that either. It'll be okay. It's the new NFL. Running backs are the whipping boys. It's honestly kind of sad.
Well, how long were the wide receivers whipping boys? I mean, to be all about the running back.
Ooh, this is intriguing.
I wasn't going to let him go for $1, but
I'll buy that. Shit, I'll put 10 on it even. I need to pay attention to who's bidding here too, because some guys I just don't like. I don't know him enough to know if I like him or not. Well, so far, an overview of the draft since neither one of us is really getting in on. Rodgers here. Everybody's gotten, like, everything seems pretty decent value. I think some of the quarterbacks went for a ginormous price tag, namely Allen, Mahomes, Burrow. Now, is it justified? Sure, but goddamn, like, that's a lot of your money. That's a huge percentage. It handcuffs you, but it's good to watch how these teams come together and how smart managers can be with it. They're actually the most entertaining for me to watch and I always kind of try to pay a little bit more close attention to those guys just to see where they're at. I like what Harperville has done. Of course, he's a Seahawk fan, so he's just giddy and yay, Geno Smith in it and everywhere, and he's going to justify it, talk shit when he hears this if he hears it. I like what Overweight has done.
I think he's stayed pretty good with his values.
Yeah, he stayed pretty decent. The 4 for Hunt might be a little reach, but who knows? That could be a steal if he is able to come in as a flex player. Like what Ritt's done, he's continued to pull value everywhere.
Everywhere, except for Lawrence.
Yeah, I like what Talon did here too. Like what Talon's doing
you're up
there too. I like what dual rig Dion's done there. Boom. If you guys let Debo go for 17, I'm going to just lose it. You all know I can't bid on him right now.
I'm not going to bid on him.
I can't have that triple stack. Although I guess I could show out and just be an example on why you don't draft 18. Your whole team. God, dealing.
Ooh, good value for this year.
A little annoyed. Oh man.
I bet the whole Discord blows up when like Dulcich comes out and I don't bid on him.
What do you mean you're not bidding on Dulcich?
Why would I bid on Dulcich?
You think the Discord's gonna lose it? I'm gonna fucking lose it on you. You got a new flag to plant this year, Darnell Washington.
No,
Kincaid.
But no, I'm still fine on Dulcich. It's just what people are gonna try to like push to make me get him. Like it's just not gonna be worth it.
Oof, there's the big jump for Pickens. Let Keta have him. Just bury him again.
That's good value.
It's good value. I just don't think
I can see him going for 18,
glamorous.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think it's as glamorous a guy to have.
You gotta look what else he's got. He's got Allen and Mahomes, so he's already limited himself because he spent so much money there.
That's what I'm saying, though. He's limited himself again by spending 15 on George Pickens. But, I mean, I've seen studs and duds kind of work. I like what Talon's doing here. I think he'll actually put some money into this.
Yeah.
But
I think Vito, Rob comes in at the end.
I think Vito's going to step on it. Rob in there. Better make sure this keeps going.
Deep.
It's pretty cheap, but like I don't really want to get into it.
I can't get into it. Yeah. I'm already balls deep into the players I got.
That works for me.
Oh, look, who got it? Rob. Wow.
That was the guy who probably should have got him.
I'm so shocked right now. ETN.
I really don't like. I'm so bummed by who the hell did they bring in there? They brought somebody in there.
You're right.
Who the hell? Dernish Johnson, and that was it. Now, it's not that concerns me so much that I'm like, oh my God, there goes all his value. But it's like, there it is. There it is. Like the sign of we're not going to give him the ball between the tackles that much. And I just don't think like this is one of those things where I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze here. Like what you're going to end up paying for him. I don't know. Tough time getting it all back, maybe. So yeah, 31. Like that's fair value. He's a young guy, young running back. You know, a little surprised Rob didn't go a little heavier on that.
Yeah.
There's no running back, but he still always ends up putting together a pretty decent team. I think he's probably just waiting in the wind.
I think one of the other things I learned too is wait. Unless it's like a final bidding war, like when it's earlier in the bidding, it's okay to click slow. Like we saw the jump to 5 to 10. Did you want to be the guy that paid 11 because you accidentally clicked too fast?
Yeah. Still happens. I've done it like 3 times already.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fortunately sometimes like you can get it going, but and then right there, this is the zone where I start to get uncomfortable with Judy.
I still think he's going to be good, but like, yeah. I just can't put it in right now.
D-Hop went for 17.
Gotta build a team here. Building a team
Pickens
here.
for 15. JMO for 20. And it can't go. It's not going to go much more. See, there's the 22 for Talon.
He's building a decent little team there. Him and his Brock Purdy stuff. I like that stack though. This should be a very interesting one. Just to see where
I'm
the price
guessing
goes.
like 11 to 12, but it could jump up quick just because people are wide receiver hungry out there.
I think somebody else is probably going to jump in here. I don't really know if I want to get in the middle of this. Yeah, put a couple guys with some more money or
As a wide receiver too, I wouldn't be. I mean, kind of where you're sitting right now. I know he wouldn't be
yeah.
your end all wide receiver too, but
There's just so much other value.
there's other value in the board to play with.
Yeah, there's younger guys I can go get.
Like right now, if Talon wins him, he's already going to be down to $24.
Yeah, but I like what he did because he kind of went how I was projecting, sort of how it would go, is a little more wide receiver heavy.
Yeah.
I like the run, the quarterbacks he's got, solidified a top tier tight end. And then now he's probably just going to, hey, I'm going to dollar my way. Well, he didn't get him, but he's still in a spot where he can go throw a little bit at a wide receiver or something like that he likes, and then fill in with running backs. I always do it. I've so been a running back guy. Like I like getting
Yeah.
two good running backs, and it's just always fucking ended up working out. So
It's so hard not to be.
yeah, you got to make sure. I mean, there's a separation.
It's so hard
between
not to
these
get
guys.
some like elite player in each position,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, if there's one thing I did do definitely here is that I've kind of put myself in a position where I definitely got to make sure I have viable running backs for my RB2 spot in case Javonte Williams is not ready for the season when it
that's a
starts.
steal right there.
I don't know about that. I think that guy's mired in some last year's shit of Ryan Tannehill and then whatever the fuck they figure out afterwards.
Packer guy. Here comes a Packer guy.
Get that stack. I'll pass. I want to have nothing to do with this guy. Nothing.
I just
Not at the
don't.
price he's going to go for.
Whoa, 25 for your wide receiver too. Like I could see him as your top flex, but
That's bad.
$1 short of Devonta Adams.
Here's an intriguing guy.
Yeah, got a couple people that no running backs.
Yeah, this is a guy I'm happy watching other people pay up for right now.
Well, I think it's the tide of the running back change. I really think if the Bengals were going to move on from Joe Mixon, it would have just happened.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere yet.
I think he's there for this year. If they win the Super Bowl, there'll be enough money to keep him there for a little bit. But I think that after the season, they just let him go. Go either rookie or sign a vet. Like there's enough vets on a 1 year. I mean, what if Pollard goes there next year for a 1 year deal? Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a definite. There's an option of they bail out and just get extra money, or like there's still the window open for him to be cut.
Yeah.
It does close more and more every day that they don't, but like you're saying, you let P. Ryan walk.
Feels so gross. I just had to bid on Mac Jones because I don't have a quarterback.
You still are hunting that second QB. Oh, bud. And you're just going to bail out on it? You're just going to bail out on it?
I can't put money in Mac Jones.
Wow, you're hamstringing yourself to the last quarterbacks, and the bidding on that's going to go up. I think this is the cheapest and youngest you get. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's like the guy's going to have value for the next 6 years at least.
Yeah.
And at that price, it's like, I'll take a guy who's a starter every week. Huh, or not. Well, you know what? Considering, I talked you into it.
That did not feel good.
Probably about where I draw the line, but only because of where I'm at, not because I think that's what he's worth.
Thanks, Dion.
That'll make you feel better about it. That'll make you feel better. He's the guy. That's where I think he should go in this league right now. That's the team I want to see him go to, but mostly because that guy beat me last year, and that pissed me the fuck off.
All right, let's go.
Ooh, I like that, especially in running back.
The running back hungries, yep.
Then you are gonna love the guy I'm about to throw up next. I just scroll down my queue to find him. Should get very interesting, especially because, there is some running back hungry teams. Kyle, if you're listening, slow down on the running backs, dude. You're okay.
Whoa, $26 already.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I was not expecting that for Cook. Couldn't even give Cook away.
Yeah, not for anything you're going to want to get back. Like, there's a guy, he missed the boat last year. Should have sold him last year. Tough to do, especially if you're competing. And so, you're going to be stuck holding it back this year. Have fun.
Yep. Oh, Monty.
Oh, I didn't even want to do that. That was an accident.
Slip of a finger.
That was. That was cheap. I was taking a drink of water and should have hit nominate. Or not nominate, but bid. They're freaking out.
Ryan got the
Discord.
value again.
Yeah, he's building a really solid team.
Well, he's got 8, so he's almost done with his starting lineup. He's got 2 spots left, but he's down to $31.
Yeah, but he's going to find a bunch of value
So-
in wide receiver if he's smart with it.
Yep. Where Rob is sitting back, I think he's still got, 115. Kyle here, the overweight Carpenter. One of the few rookies that showed out last year on reception perception.
Yeah, I think it's a fair price. I just don't like the amount of volume they're going to have in that offense that will be geared to Drake London.
From Ritter? Heineke?
Yeah, but
neither one is an inspiring quarterback for a wide
yeah.
receiver. So,
and it was Mariota last year, and he still
and that's why I
showed the
put
fact
Pitts
that he
up
could
first.
dominate.
I was expecting him to go more than 37. This is surprising to me.
Seems like a pretty good spot. I mean, like that's value. This gets
It's
up
good.
into
yeah,
this gets up any higher than this, and
yeah. I think if it goes into 30s, like 32, 35, like it might be just too much.
Talking. Okay, so we're at Waddle range right now.
Right.
You know, $4 more in Cup.
2 more, it's Devonta Smith, but
Yeah,
that's
400
it right there.
400 Wilson.
30 DeVito.
Swift for 20. That's insane.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm out on him.
Yeah.
And Dion just filling up way too much on running backs. But there is still a ton of young, good wide receivers out there. That's kind of where my focus is right now.
They're his flex. They're good dice rolls, but ooh, JK, you look good on your roster.
Not for the price.
What's the price going to be?
I've got my eyeballs on lower tiered guys down here. This is going to go over about like 15, and then my range of what I want to get 2 guys for 15. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for my running back spots. I want to fill a lot of my flex spots with value wide receivers.
Usually getting to this point of the draft is when I start making a queue of guys I want, and not just guys that I want to put up. So
I still got a bag of junk guys I'm throwing up.
Yeah. I haven't put anybody in my queue yet. But this usually starts to get that time where you're like, all right, there's my targets. This is who I want. Put the mouse down.
Click.
I can't do it.
Click. You should. I mean, that would make your lineup look just. Yeah, you're gonna have a tough time at quarterback, but I think Hawk is a viable piece.
Yeah,
people should be giving him.
I have him as tight end 3 right now. I have him over Pitts.
I like what Rob did there.
Yep.
Double down on tight end, get 2 elites. It's trade value, or it's just an advantage in weekly matchups.
Still just can't do anything, Jahan Dotson. Just can't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, you know where I stand on this cat. I mean, he showed out a little bit better than what the hell was I calling him? Who is that dude?
Jahan Rager.
yeah.
Jalen Rager is who you comparing him to, but
Jahan Rager, man.
Jahan Rager.
And he looked good. Like, I mean, he came out, showed out a little bit. Quarterback's probably Jacoby now.
No howling at the moon, huh?
I can't be fucking paying that. Who howling at the moon? What?
There goes their fantasy value.
Gone. Oh my god, here's where the boredom kicks in. Can't get on board with him either. He's just old. Showing you what he is.
27.
Oh, old. What? For a fucking NFL wide receiver that you're starting in a startup? I'm not going to pay $15, $16 for a 27-year-old wide receiver that's shown as a wide receiver 2 his whole career.
Yep, PPR 14.
Yeah. I'd rather take a 24 or 25-year-old guy who has a shot at being a wide receiver 1 3 times in the next 5 years.
Herf, leave him alone.
Yeah, like right here, I'd rather spend this money on, and I'm not saying they'll go for that, but like a DJ Moore type.
Yeah.
A Helen Ayuk. I'll even throw myself under the bus. I'm eyeing Amari Cooper. Like, I'm really hoping he's fucking there.
I think he's going to be a great steal this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can fucking snag him up here coming up. Elijah Moore, too. Like, if it falls out on Cooper, Elijah Moore's probably going to be like a $4 or $5 player come later.
Yeah.
Just see who has much money and hope he doesn't get nominated. I kind of like this. I just don't feel that it's a guarantee that he's going to get the workload.
And what kind of workload is going to be there?
Exactly. And there's still a lot of people that need running backs. I think price is going to rise up on them right now. Also, a little piece of strategy here is to, as Tony said, be looking for guys that you want to nominate, but also having guys that you want to get, so you know who's in your queue, but know who the difference is.
Yeah.
But right now, it's also about like reading your board and seeing who's available, and so you want to shove positions out there that people are going to see.
Especially people that are running hype, like, oh, Miles Sanders, he's the only back in Carolina right now. Well,
Yeah,
he's not, but
I'm talking more like guys like Cam Akers, right? Guys like Ezekiel Elliott, who somebody's going to spend $5 on, and it's really just like even if it's just $5 to somebody who's like that's way too cheap for him, that's
yeah.
fine. But if you weren't going to spend any money on him anyway, you're just taking money out of the pocket of somebody else. So that's kind of where I'm also at now and looking at positional situations. We're all getting kind of close to that flex spot, but running backs are tightening up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people there's 3 teams who do not have one running back yet.
Yeah. Allen's still looking for his second. I thought this Pollard was going to be a little crazy, but I wasn't expecting $20.
I figured he'd get here, but these running backs, man, on a franchise deal, that freaks me the fuck out.
And when they're 26 on a 1-year franchise.
Yeah, and they've already proven to not be a workhorse back. They needed to split it. Now your passing game scares me.
Yeah.
Still a lot of good tight ends out there too. A lot of Keenan I like. 1-year guy, I think he's out next year. Chargers smart to bring him back this year. They're in the Super Bowl window, right? So keep him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really surprised like the Eckler thing. I think they just were like, I think they're just doing the best thing they can for Eckler and saying, hey, go get a trade done. But this is the best kind of offer we can give you right now, man. We're sorry.
Well, and I don't think they're screwing him over, but I don't think they're really like, oh man, we're going to pay you out the butt and then restructure contract, restructure.
Yeah.
At least make him go for 10. Come on, people.
Any of the teams bidding right now can have him. You can have him. I am now not afraid of your team at all.
No.
Good luck getting rid of him.
He will now die on your roster.
Oh shit, it's my turn. I'm going to stick with the theme of
running back.
Yeah.
Enticing.
Yeah, I have zero interest in this because I feel like I think he's got one more year on his deal, and so he's potentially out the door after this year, and Aaron Jones is fucking coming back again. So
and
all the hype,
what did he
so
prove? Like he just didn't
Nothing.
prove anything last year.
So.
He didn't even prove the efficiency that he had the year before. There was no injury talk. There was no anything that he just didn't show. So everybody that bought him for first last year just got to eat him.
Yeah.
And everybody who got him at a value, like, maybe a second plus, like that was a good deal. That's a fair value.
It leads to a real good point of us always saying be like water, because so many people planted their flags on, well, Aaron Jones is gone next year, his contract. And like, you just made up your mind on what the team is going to do already. Yeah. And instead of like being a little bit more cautious about it, you bought in and now you're fucking stuck holding the bag. I'm the same guy. I mean, a couple teams, I have shares of Dylan. Yeah. But what's funny is I have shares of Dylan and Jones on most of those teams. I don't have a lot of shares of either one. It was like I got in and Jones was just so cheap and I thought he was going to be a baller next year, and then I kind of banked back on Dylan, earning the job this year.
Well, and I think a couple of the startups, you got some good value for Dylan because everybody's like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is back. Aaron Jones is going to be huge.
Meanwhile, we watch Aaron Jones come off the board for $10. That was criminal. I should have bid that up. That was bad. This is turning out to be a pain in the fucking butt.
Yeah.
I like the Muth, especially on your team. I will be the nice guy and not bid. I'd touch 20 with him. I think he's fucking young enough. He's a focal point. Absolute TD dependent.
Well, you have to think that the Steelers offense is just going to be that touch more efficient this year. Not crazy. I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch him more than 21. Not with having 0 quarterback.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
The question of how well does Baker do in Tampa rides on these. This guy and Evans, man, it's a rough call. That's a tough investment.
Yeah.
They're great players, and like I'd love to have them on my team, but sitting where we're at right now, I'm catching up on money a little bit with my class. I wish I was wearing my glasses, but yeah, it's me and Rob right now. So
Harper, Ketta.
we're just kind of hovering there. We'll be able to make some moves here in a little bit. This is kind of the it's like what I always think is kind of like the downside to an auction is you get to a point where you're like, you want to build your team and you get so excited, but a little bit of patience, a little bit of sit back and just kind of see how the league is building itself, gain information.
Yeah.
And just
Well, and kind of see how the teams are playing out.
Yeah, it'll help you bid later. It'll help you know what values are later. It'll give you an idea, guys, you can steal and feel comfortable that it's not going to bite you in the butt.
Allen going to go get his second running back?
That is cheap. That could be a league winner. Well, Talon likes doing shit like that, but
yeah, he's willing to roll the dice.
Yeah, considering age and all that, I mean, this might be the last year you actually get to use him.
Yeah,
I'm trying to bid.
I'm doing the clicky. I think after this video, I'm going to get the WD-40 and lubricate this desk because, like, any sound or any movement, like, just drive me crazy.
Good.
Move it real good.
So many other wide receivers.
Well, and we've had it for a couple years, so probably just time for a tighten up.
Yeah, a little lube down. Make sure the bolts are squeezed down.
Squeezed down? I find it so funny that I've finally moved on from DJ Moore, and now he's got all this huge hype.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. It's not huge, but there is some hype around with DJ Moore and going.
Every year it spikes.
Yeah.
And like, can you trade him at the top of the spike or not? I do think, though, that like Moore, he's getting the best quarterback right there that he's ever had.
Yeah.
He's going to go to an offense where he's going to be the focal point. He has running quarterback, so he's going to be able to use some of his capability, his route running, so he'll be more wide open for Fields. So I think it was a really good pickup for those guys, and it'd be interesting to see what they do at the 9th. I think they get defense.
6 for Ritter is definitely more than I wanted to pay, but I paid it.
I would agree. You don't even know what they're going to do next year. Like, I think that's one of those things. Like, they're the New England, where now that Reek's gone and they got Kelsey coming up on the last bit of his, like, you're never going to know who the fuck is going to be the guy that week.
Well, and Juju's gone, and is it Sky Moore? Is it going to be Kadarius? Like, who is it? Who's it going to be?
They're going to draft guys. They're going to bring more guys in.
Right. I think they make a late run on some of these vet running backs.
This is way too much for a guy you have zero clue that he definitely has a job. Like, and he's what? A
7th round pick.
Yeah, that is such a gamble. And of course, it's a boom. Of course, it's boom that does it. Boom.
Ooh.
Shh.
I will let you have this.
Don't let him hear you.
What's Rob's strategy here? It's only 1.5 premium tight end.
But he's always been. He always rosters a really good team. He's still got great shit here. See, yeah, I can't pay that for him.
No. I was out at 10.
Yeah, there's other dudes here that I'm still more interested in. And like I said, I'm probably going to punt tight end. And there are a boatload of wide receivers still here. I'm going to invest a lot of my extra cash here into looking at wide receivers. I need running back depth, but like I'm probably going to target Elijah Mitchell, of course. Khalil Herbert will probably get priced out of my range. I like guys like Brian Robinson, Damian Harris. Like, I like those guys I'm going to get for like $2-3. I like Isaiah Spiller as a sneaky lad in case something happens with Eckler and they can't figure it out.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about him.
Talk about a dart throw, though. I mean, like,
but yeah, if you're getting him for $1, like, I could get on board with that, especially if you can throw him down in taxi.
Yeah, well,
does anything cool? 16. If not, whatever, throw him away.
Yeah, and then guys like Jeff Wilson's down here. I mean, there's plenty of running backs. I've got my 2 top guys. I'm going to end up spending very little on that. Would still like to get a third quarterback, so I'm sure like a lot of these guys are. They've got Garoppolo, Baker. Who else is probably still out here that's worth even looking at? That's really fucking about it. Garoppolo and Baker are about the last 2 quarterbacks. So guys sitting in your position that, kind of punted that second quarterback or definitely need a third quarterback help, that's probably going to come into play pretty soon.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys that could use a third quarterback. I'm one of them.
I'm one of them.
True. So, see, and I might end up having to punt that. But I also know I have the 106. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, 106, 206, does that get me the 105 and get me another quarterback? Probably not.
You'd have to get up into the 103. or 4?
Nah, not to get a quarterback. 105, I think I'd be hovering at 105, and then in draft I could decide. That's still, I think, at 106 an in draft decision. Just see how it's going, how fast it is. But I guess we are, you got to take into consideration too, like,
There's still 3 guys with 0 RBs.
Yeah, what's going to happen with the RB market right now? And so,
I mean, one person has the 101, so I understand him. That's Harper.
yeah, as a matter of fact, everybody knows what we're doing this, so I'm going to do it right now. If y'all are smart, I hope everybody's nominating running backs from here on out. That's what I'm saying. Nominate running backs. Nominate running backs. The best fan hops in finally. How is he not broken? Has this many guys?
He's just getting value here at the end, just paying enough. He's doing well so far.
Oh crap! It should get interesting. Fuck! I already got Cooper too, didn't I? So I can't really double up. Yeah, I could. Fuck you. I at least thought about it over here. I at least thought about it.
I heard that click at the last second. I'm like, ah, shit. Let Vito have him. Oh, come on. Let Vito have him. That would have been $9. He would have been down like nothing.
Yeah, it'd even toast. Yeah, Harper likes him too, though.
It's not bad.
Okay, here's another one I like. Just gonna keep doing this. I actually kind of was targeted talent on that one because I knew he got Kamara, and so handcuff that up a little bit. But looks like Rob's finally making a move. And yes, see, keep nominating running backs.
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson. You know I like me some Jake Ferguson.
Ooh.
But I don't know how well I can play this. Fuck. Thank God.
Okay. I almost had to get in there for you.
This is how we're going to play tight end.
I'm surprised Aquabenam hasn't been moved yet.
Yes. Keep throwing out running. I like Palmer, man. He's an invest guy. Right now just seems too early for that.
$2 felt okay. I am just going to shift it to the big board and turn off our mic for a minute or two and just let this go.
Start with Harborville and finish with us?
Yeah.
Oh, work our way back to us? Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we know he's got Bijan.
Yeah, he's got the 101, so we know he's got Bijan, so he probably wasn't too concerned. Yeah, and he'll be able to add in wide receiver there. Overall, good draft. I mean, I like how young you went with wide receiver. Tight end's a little loose there, but he's got good young guys there too, and likely Dolchich, Okonkwo. Good, solid all-around setup there. The quarterback kind of freaks me out a little bit. Needs a little help there. But I think he'll be comfortable with Geno and Herbert. I love the Elijah Moore pick. Got a little snipe there, but I already had enough Cleveland Browns. I couldn't keep going.
I really like this Jeff Wilson pick. He got a good price on Wilson.
Yeah, good. $3 on Jeff Wilson.
He's going to be like his third flex, the last one rotational.
Yeah, and they're good guys to have around in that area, especially if he's going to have those draft picks, so we'll be able to fill in even more flex spots too. So good all-around team. A lot of flexibility. Keep fucking saying that word. He's got a lot of flexibility to kind of maneuver around still.
Well, he's got a lot to play with his flex spots and good and young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good overall draft.
He definitely went more of a hero running back with a couple guys that might flex in, but they're older.
Yeah, so, but I think he's just, you're going to go with the Jamal Williams thing I love, especially with the Kamara stuff coming up. Fournette not even being on a team is kind of freaky, but he's probably going to find somewhere to get some run.
He'll find something, find value for a week or two.
Patterson, McKinney, all these other guys don't mean shit to me. I mean, I like the Jeff Wilson thing, but still really light in running back. We had a couple really heavy running back teams that kind of fit that. Speaking of, I think that's a good transition into Mr. Hero QB.
Yeah.
Who went
spent his wad on Mahomes for 94, Allen for 85.
Yeah.
And then just kind of sat there.
Not a bad route to go. Did pick up some good pieces here in Pickens, Ayuk. I like Jacoby in Las Vegas this year.
Yeah,
Kirk, man, Evans, I feel like is a one-trick pony this year. It's going to be really interesting to see what Baker Mayfield can do for Godwin and Evans in Tampa this year.
bastard
Uh,
sniped me on Rashid Shaheed.
yeah, you're one of your guys.
Yeah,
I don't like the tight end thing, but I mean, he punted it, I punted it too, and I think he's
yeah.
got good punt guys for a cheap deal. Like that, he got Winston as a backup just in case. He's probably one of the more sought after backups in the league because
Ford
he's
right now before the
capable.
draft has value.
Yeah. And I feel like the rest of his draft is very, these are toss out guys. It's going to be interesting to see what he gets out of that.
He's
Not
not
much, though, I
worth
don't think.
anything. Henderson's not even on a team.
Yeah.
Not voting well.
Mr. Space AIDS. I suckered this guy into Tannehill for $4, and I think he feels comfortable with it. I don't know why, because he just buried himself again with Rodgers, probably another 1 year guy.
Oh, he's got Burrow. He spent 87 on Burrow though.
Yeah, and I think that kind of hamstrung him. Went kind of wishy-washy with running back because I don't think you're going to get shit for Cook. We were already talking about it before.
Yep.
You can't trade him for shit right now, so you got to kind of ride him into the sunset. Sanders is the same way. You got to
Yeah.
wait to see what he does, and even then, people are so gun shy because of what he's done to
You
them in
have
the
no
past.
clue what that Carolina offense is going to look like this year.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of hope on it. Love the
Al-
Jefferson and Diggs stacks here. Those are great for wide receivers.
Algier and Elliott. I mean,
Eh.
beyond that, he has nothing.
I think Zeke, with how many running backs are coming in that are Zeke type, or at least where Zeke is
Yeah.
right now, I think he's going to have a tough time finding a team. He's going to need an injury. And
He's going to have to be a team-friendly deal with incentives.
yeah, his wish list is nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Love the Davis pick here late. Some good young wide receivers there too, and Claypool and Bell. See what happens there.
I
The
don't know
running
how I
backs to
feel though
me.
about having Diggs and Davis. That's
Oh,
just
one of those
something
guys
that
is
I
good.
was. Well, I just always ran into like, well, are you going to start both? I mean, you start Diggs every week, but are you gonna start both?
Right, but still with a rookie draft to go and a dynasty league, I'm okay doing that. I did it. I took Sutton and Tim Patrick on top of
Yeah,
each other, both the same players, both doing basically the same thing, but they're trade chips, right? And for $7 to get Gabe Davis, I think that's a steal. I'd have done it too because I'm not trying to build my roster all the way yet, right? It's fucking March,
yep,
right? And this whole thing, we were really looking at value and trying to get yourself in a position where you didn't have to screw yourself to fill out your roster, but you were in a good
absolutely.
spot with a decent roster. And I think he did okay at that. He's going to have trouble come running back time and next year at quarterback. So he'll need to make some moves this year. I also don't know what draft pick he has. I think he's 7.
Oh, 7. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's 7. So he's not going to get a quarterback there. Might get Levis. Really just depends on how everything pans out and when we come to drafting.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our main man, Vito here.
Got Vito. So Mark was able to get some good young talent. The running backs that he started with are good. Love Ramondre this year. ETN was yet to be seen what he's going to have go on. White, same position. Pollard, 1 year, 26-year-old, but should have the workload.
Yep.
We got Cup, which it's a hard buy. Like you were talking about earlier, like it's a hard buy because what's going to happen this year and possibly next year.
Yeah, they could be one and dones right there. I don't like the Burks thing because I still think he's in development year, and I think that team's in a transition to a rebuild. They might be trying for one last hoorah, but when you hear tales of Henry being out there on the chopping block, or not chopping block, the trading block,
Trade block. Yeah.
that's going to mesh up a little bit. I like the Stevenson and Etienne thing because he went young running backs, but they're also in really weird positions. Stevenson being in New England, where they're always running back by committee, even though he did finish RB7 last year. But they piled in more guys. We talked about this, I think, before. They still have Pierre Strong, still have Kevin Harris. They're going to add more guys. They added James Robinson already.
James,
so so that thing's going to pile up. I like the Etienne. He ended up at 17th in PPR last year among running backs. He could pile on that this year, but I'm hoping that the additions of Calvin Ridley coming in, them keeping Evan Ingram, adding guys who can run between the tackles like Dernis Johnson already are going to help Etienne actually be more efficient and not carry so much load, which maybe is what they're doing. But I think he's risky as hell too. I love Rachaad White this year.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Tampa is going to become a more run-centric team. Yeah, a more run-centric team, not trying to run the ball by passing with Brady. The O-line could sure use it because they're not the best pass blocking team out there right now. I think you guys lost a guard and a tackle this year.
I think the
in free
guard
agency
was a
so far?
backup guard, but
Okay.
Donovan Smith, the left tackle for sure.
Right.
And I don't know
Love
if Ryan Jensen was re-signed or not. I think he just did a 1 year deal.
Yeah, love the Pollard pickup here too.
Yeah.
Price not so much.
Yeah,
$22 for
that's what
Pollard
I was
because I
just going to
feel
bring up. Like the
yeah.
$22, though, that feels heavy. Same with 40 for Daniel
Hmm.
Jones. You
Yeah.
start to look at that mid tier where he's at. I mean, he's got some rushing
Mhm.
upside, but 40, when he's finishing around QB 8 or 9 and 20, 25.
And there's an argument against it because he did have a good year and he didn't put
Yeah.
up a lot of passing yards. And so he showed like, hey, I can be QB9 and not have elite weapons around me. I think it was more of a Brian Dable doing what he had to do. It's if Daniel Jones were going to be more consistent, like if he'd had 2 years with Dable, I probably would have still been in the running. I panned out on Daniel Jones at like $35, I think.
Yeah.
Was still interested, but once he hit the $40 range, I was kind of like, I just really can't fucking do that.
Deontay Johnson, I like full
Deal.
PPR.
That pissed me off when that happened for $11. That's ridiculous. That was bad. That was on me. I was in the middle of that bid and I just was like where I was. I couldn't fucking pull the trigger. And looking back at my roster
Pretty
now, like,
much
man, I wish I did.
from Irv Smith down, just not anything I'm excited
Bunch of
about.
Jags. Bunch of Jags.
Roster cloggers. Like
Yeah,
nobody you're
bunch
really
of
going to be like, oh, I'm going to
Jags.
put him in this week. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's move on to
Ryan
this.
Ritt. I
Move on to
thought he
this
did
asshole.
great with some of the value he got early,
Yeah,
except
that's
for
why I'm
Trevor.
pissed at him. I thought he did really good. I really do. Like
Yeah,
he kind of snuck around, got good value at running back, so he'll get really good production out of those guys. How long they last, we don't know.
the Garrett
But
Wilson was a great buy. Kelsey
yeah,
for
Garrett Wilson was a good
31.
buy. Kelsey also, but again, here 1 year rental, 1 year
Mm-hmm.
rental. Barkley and Chubb 1 year rentals. Trevor Lawrence, long term guy, yes. Um, David Montgomery, I liked. I think that's a really good pickup.
Yeah,
$17. I wish I could have put a little more on that because I think he's going to be really good this year.
I agree.
Yeah, DJ
Just
Moore
at
for
that
18
point,
wasn't
I
bad.
don't think I had enough money to really start throwing around. So,
Yeah, yeah, no shit, right? Getting Goff as a second quarterback, I like. Here's where it gets a little hairy is in this
well,
last
and this
flex
is you can
spot.
tell he ran out of money right here because of
Yeah.
Foreman Spiller, and then
Mhm.
he just kind of had to eat whatever came to him, which.
Yeah, did well though. Still has a draft
Mm,
to kind of fill that last flex spot, and looks to me to be one of the teams that we've come across that actually is like, okay, here's maybe a standout contender
yeah,
at the beginning, at
somebody
the end of this draft.
year one that might.
Yeah, year one be a big year for him, and then if he's smart and can move around and get some of this running back room
Yeah.
more into youth, and then continue to build on that good. He's got a good wide receiver core. I like that wide receiver core. His base being Wilson and DJ Moore there.
All right, our
Our
friend
big guy
Talon here.
Talon. Yeah. We all know. So we can go ahead and say what's on this team, but we all know that a month from now, half these guys aren't going to be on here. I do like the Tua
Nickname
thing.
the Tool Man.
Yeah, I like Tua at 43. The Purdy thing at $12. I mean, he's a Purdy believer. He thinks he's going to overtake Lance. So like, I got it. That was
His first pickup was Pitts. That was the first guy that I put up.
yeah, and
C37 on Pitts.
that
That
just
was
goes to show how
surprising.
far he's come. That just goes to show how far he's fallen, and it attributes to guys who are looking at the top 3 tight ends or 4 tight ends right now that you're going to draft this year, and you're like, bottom of the first round or beginning of the second. Man, fuck that, because in 2 years, those guys that aren't as hyped as Kyle Pitts are going to be cheaper than $37 off Kyle Pitts,
Yeah.
right? Just think next
Well,
year
even
when
looking at Kelsey for 31, Andrews for 30.
yeah, like the prices are going to drop on these guys. You don't have to spend top dollar in your draft. That's the time to get running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks. Tight ends, go buy them later for way cheaper. But they're not all like Kyle Pitts. I like the 37 on Kyle Pitts. I think that's a very good value.
So $3 on Elijah Mitchell. I think that was just a little early for spending that much.
That pissed me off because I went to go to the bathroom and came back and Mitchell was gone, and I have
Yes.
McCaffrey, so I was upset about that. Like Dobbins, don't like the Kamara thing. There's a lot of questions thrown around him, but the minute something hype breaks
Yeah.
and he wants to get rid of him, he could probably move him. Waddle Lamb, Judy, DPJ,
I think
Gallup,
this is a
very
good
good.
3 to have for his
Yeah,
wide receivers.
yeah, I thought he did really
I
good right
thought
there. He's
those
gonna
were
be able to,
good value. Yeah.
yeah, he'll be able to move those guys all over his flex
Especially
spots.
Lamb for 37.
Yeah, wish I could have got into that one. Timing.
Yeah.
And then I like the guys that he got later on here. Like Homer will be a contributor here and there. Connor will be a contributor here and there.
Gallup
Chandler
might be
same.
help
Davis the
flex.
same. Yeah, he sniped Phillips off you for $3.
bastard.
I know that's one of your guys there. So like you
Yep.
got a lot of these guys that they could produce. If I have to throw them in, I might get 6 points out of them, which isn't a bad thing to have. On to
All
Big
right,
Kai. Dude left six
Kyle.
dollars out there. Six bucks
Just
out
because he
there.
could, I think.
Yeah, and just another dude that I got sucked in on a $4 guy, Kareem Hunt, who I honestly think like for $4, I wish I could have put it out there. It was just too early when I did it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of a steal. I think he
I
is,
think this came out a little bit later. He went for 6 to 8.
yeah. I
So
think
there
Hunt,
were multiple teams that were running back needy.
yeah, and we'll see. I think this will be an after draft signing. Teams will go through the draft, see where everything ends up at,
Yeah.
see what their running back rooms look like, and then Hunt ends up being on a team that is mid tier, right? Like I don't think he's going to end up somewhere decent. I think
Yeah.
like a team that's got a good offense and he'll get some run. I thought that was a great steal right there, which could put more into it.
I think his finish won't reflect what his value is.
Yeah, I guarantee that actually. Murray freaks me out a little bit just because of the knee and the whole situation there. Cousins, I like.
Well, and
Uh,
this is kind of contradicting quarterbacks, and that's what I didn't like about his draft. Is Cousins is good for this year. Kyler's probably not playing much this year, and if he does, it's very limited upside. And then next year, where's Cousins and where's Murray? Because
I
there's
think
talk
Murray.
about them moving on from Murray.
Yeah, and I could see that too. But even then, you're talking Murray's going to be just like a Lamar. Like he's going to get paid. He's going to go somewhere. He'll be a starter again. I do think that it's probably time for a change of scenery there, right? Like get the whole Cliff Kingsbury thing out of the way. That'd be weirder than hell. I mean, they move on from who was it, Rosen, and then they fucking drafted Murray, and then they're just gonna. It's like, can you guys fucking figure it out? I don't mind so much how he went about the quarterback position because he did back it up with Mayfield.
Yep.
He
And
did back
Trask,
up,
so he's got the Tampa Bay field locked back or
and he's got
quarterbacks room.
yeah, and he's McCoy there to back up Murray too. So if Murray's not started right off the bat, he can at least come in. And Murray's a good push for when he's in the middle of the season, ready to start making a push on the playoffs.
I like the Derrick Henry pickup.
I kind of liked it. I kind of don't because we all know the cliff is coming.
Oh yeah.
And so the $26 you invested into Henry is a cliff I don't want to be a part of, and it's just another running back. Like we keep saying, we're in another tier running back here where we're gonna hit cliffs with guys we just don't know when the fuck they're coming. And I don't really want to gamble on that shit right now. To be honest with you. It's just too early,
Yeah.
Like the Dotson pickup.
I like these mid-round running backs that he picked up. Dylan's all right.
Kind of
Gibson's, I like that where he's at.
He's got really good value in here.
Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, these are guys he could move for other pieces when it comes time. If you needed, fill wide receiver or quarterback, whatever the hell. But like those are good.
I might be going
pieces
after that Herbert piece.
Yeah, I know you probably would. I like the Debo for $18. I think that was kind of a steal, even though he's older. He had a kind of an injury riddled season this year. Got people down on him. I think he should have gone for more like $30. So that was a good value there. All in all, I think this team is
$6 for Lockett is everybody keeps sleeping on Lockett.
Yeah, but I think he's also another guy that's like when is the cliff? Yeah, when does the cliff come?
Mike Williams, age out.
Yeah, so a lot of questioning here, but another team.
But if he makes a run, it's going to be all worth it.
Yeah, if you're putting contenders together, I think Kyle puts himself in is one of the top contenders for this year.
Yep. All right. This is going to be one of your favorites here, I'm sure.
So not only does this guy spend $45 to get or pick 104, pick 112, and pick 205 via auction to get the 104, we put $23 on it, spent $12 to acquire the 112, and $10 to acquire the 205, which just is fucking mind-boggling. So he came into the draft $45 less than anybody else had, and presumed to then personally overpay for Fields, not be able to pick up another quarterback that he's even close to fucking starting for any team. Does have Jonathan Taylor and Kenneth Walker, so okay. Does have Devontae Adams and Christian Watson, who no longer has Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think Jordan Love can actually fucking hit him.
Well, going from Derek Carr to Jimmy G, how's that going to be?
I still think Adams is going to see the volume, right? It's just, is it good volume, right? Is the ball in the right spot?
Chemistry, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, and the chemistry with Carr and Adams was, they came right into it.
Or is Jimmy going to play it a little more safer and go Moreau or Jacoby?
I don't think. I don't think you're gonna. I still think it's like your best player gets the ball, right? So he's still gonna see his 130 targets. or 160, whatever the hell number he's been hovering around at. I still think he sees the targets. Where is that ball going, right? Because Carr was definitely a good, accurate thrower. And so it got in DeAndre's vicinity to grab it. We've seen Jimmy throw. And like, if he's got people at his feet, he's terrible. I just have a lot of concerns about him being able to pepper Adams enough with good, efficient targets that he can turn into production. I still think he gets the volume, but it's where does that go to? Fuck. I don't know.
And then it just kind of falls out after the Tom Brady pick here into dollar land of, well, these are guys on a roster.
Yeah, we do have to keep in mind. So, the quarterback picking 104, probably going to have a shot at, depending on where the A-Rich hype goes, it's probably going to end up with A-Rich. If the train goes apeshit and ends up pushing Young or say Stroud down, then he ends up with one of those guys. And it's still a decent roster. Like, even everything he's done, still looking at it, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? There's another guy in here that drafted like 12 tight ends. That one will fucking make you laugh.
So with Boom, so 104, probably quarterback. 112, he's going to have to kind of hope for
wide receiver, running back. He's getting a flex.
I think going probably running back. I mean, he's got okay wide receivers here. Running back is probably going to help him more because
but you don't
Pacheco.
Yeah, but you don't draft for need.
But
you don't draft for need. You draft for value. So if he's sitting there and the best value is a wide receiver that's still sitting there that fell or is just higher rated, we're talking about Boom, and I'm being way too logical, but he should take the value of the wide receiver and just roll. I mean, with Taylor and Walker, Pacheco, like you're just hoping none of these guys get hurt,
years.
Of course.
Yeah, you still got a couple years with these guys. So
so adding a wide receiver that adds a little bit more long-term value. I can't think of a wide receiver that'd be down there. You're probably right.
Flowers, he's probably Josh Downs is the only one.
Yeah, but I mean, if those guys are sitting down there and you're looking,
those aren't guys to.
Yeah, if you're down there and you're looking at like a Kendre Miller versus Zay Flowers, right? And it just, of course, landing spots too, or Charbonnet somehow slips down there because wide receivers jump ahead of him or something like that. Like, I could see running back out of there too. The value would be. Here's another fucking guy that's quarterback shit the bed, Packer fan. So of course he went for Jordan Love. We ran the price up on him on that one. Must be a Pickett believer because he paid 32 for him, and must believe enough in Mac Jones. I'll give him one credit.
I ran up Pickett a little bit too. But...
Yeah, I'll give him credit on one thing. He went and got young quarterbacks that will hold value so long as they're starter for their team. But you have to worry about like Mac Jones at the end of his rookie contract.
With the rest of your lineup here, like age
out.
All
right, we're just talking about
age out.
Just talking about quarterbacks right now. Right, but there's your replacements, right? Because you have three really young quarterbacks. Depending on how shit these guys actually play, if they show out a little bit this year, you're getting 2 first, a 24 and a 25 or something like that for him maybe next year if you're trying to trade him off and rebuild, which would help with, the age out he's got on here. Did well at going younger with wide receivers, but man, are you fucking running back heavy. That's a really running back heavy team.
Right, but that's what I was just talking about is Mixon probably ages out next year. Swift just got replaced this year. Aaron Jones, what's he going to be next year? Eckler, where's he going to be next year? Jacobs, where's he going to be next year?
And running backs get hurt a ton and doesn't really have a lot in the back end to throw up in here.
What is he still?
Yeah, so he's a couple of injuries away from being fucked. If I'm looking at this team and I'm like, okay, I punted quarterback somewhat, but at least I punted it in a smart manner in which I've got young guys who in season I can be like, okay, I can go get a, Jordan Love who's kind of kicking ass right now and trade him for a Kirk Cousins and I need a fucking wide receiver. You know what I mean? Or a draft pick or something like that. So smart to get younger guys that are going to hold value. You try to go to somebody and get Kirk Cousins and a tear down and a piece, and you're probably going to get laughed at, but you go in there with a guy that's got 5 more years.
Well, he got the 108.
Yeah, so that's going to be a running back or wide receiver.
Yeah. And he has probably still a couple of good wide receivers on the board.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be set at running back. He can let these guys kind of age out. I mean, Jacobs is still pretty young. Eckler's definitely fucking old. Mixon's old. Swift's pretty young still, just always hurt. Jones is definitely going to age out. And Akers is pretty young. So, like, a lot of risk at the running back spot.
Mostert.
Yeah, his team is going to base off. I'm not even going to bring Mostert in there. I'd almost be more intrigued. I would be more intrigued about Haskins with all the Henry talk.
Yeah.
Because he keeps that offense on track to what they normally do if they stay that way.
All right. Let's go into the tight end premium. Tight end university over here.
Yeah, tight end U, straight out of Canada. Love Jalen Hurts. I just can't pay that much for him just right now. I know they're going to fucking probably buy into him, but I don't know, man. He had a great year.
QB top 5?
I'd put him probably top 5 right now, but it's just like I can't pay the price for him because I don't believe in him enough to pay top 5. I mean, I don't have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes on any of my teams in any of my leagues for a reason. It's just because I can't justify it.
Well, and by the time you get there, especially in an auction, like somebody that you're like, all right, I'm going to spend 70 on these guys. Somebody spends 90, and you're like, I'm out. I can't.
Yeah, it was an easy back out.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like the Metcalf.
Piss poor running backs. Can't believe you just jumped past that RB room.
That's for a reason.
I think his best running backs are on his bench. Damian Harris and Kevin Gill.
I like the Damian Harris. Yep.
Yeah,
Warren
Harris,
could be all right.
Wanted to spend more on that, but wanted to make sure I maintained money for the end.
Gainwell if he keeps some wide or receiving stuff, but I mean
should, and we all know Penny's probably only going to.
Yeah,
Penny's only going to play for like 3 weeks. He'll be out. Clearly, the strength of this team is in the robust amount of tight ends. Andrews, Hawk, both younger guys. Well, I don't know. Is Andrews a little bit older? 27 for a tight end. That's not old.
27. He's doing all right. I mean, he's got Hawks, 5 years in, and he's already been elite. So
yeah, and Hawk's 25, Goddard's 28. That's kind of where I was thinking older. I was looking at him earlier, but still young enough as tight ends.
Taysom's 32.
Yeah, and in a tight end league here where you can kind of look back through what we did at tight end, there's people going to need tight ends if they want to make a move on it. I just never like to make a move knowing like I'm going to trade.
I don't like to draft to trade.
Yeah, because
I did that in one league and I just realized how crappy that was.
Yeah, and people will usually you don't get more value than you think you're going to get because people know you're heavy at it, and so they're like, "Fuck you." But overall, not a very good team. Sorry, Rob. I got to throw it out there. I mean,
not contending.
Yeah, I mean, it could. You make a couple good moves, and he is notorious for making decent moves. So I'll give him that credit that I think he will be.
He's crafty at the moves.
Yeah, for right now, not a contender, but after maybe the offseason and we hit August, could be a different story.
Yep. All right, Stud Muffin.
Oh, crap. Okay, so I was honestly at the end of this, I thought it started off really well, and then I think it got carried away from me a little bit. I actually like Lance for $32. I still think a guy who's got that much investment in him and is only 22, going to be 23 when the season starts, is definitely worth putting some fucking money in like that. $32 for a guy who's going to be the quarterback for the 49ers. You saw what a seventh
rushing upside.
Yeah, you saw what a 7th round draft pick can do when that team is humming. Imagine what Trey Lance can do with his legs and everything. And if you can actually figure out how to throw the ball. So still a risky pick, but I was able to back it up with Deshaun Watson. So I kind of like that.
Solidified it, yeah.
I'll take that. He's actually my quarterback 1 in this little setup here. Paired Lance with McCaffrey, who just put a season together basically in what was 7 games with the 49ers last year. I mean, most running backs would take his stats in those 7 games and be like, that was my best fucking season.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get a full year with him. The Niners are going in, they're retooling back up. They've already got good signings on the defensive side.
Great defense.
Now watch him go into the draft and add more talent on the offensive line and more weapons, I bet. So C-Mac, I think, is still has an opportunity to be the RB1. He's a fucking stud. He could be a league winner, and I'll take him. Still has more years on him, I think.
So let's talk about your running backs a little bit here.
Yeah, my running backs scare the shit out of me right now because there just wasn't good value.
Yeah,
there just wasn't good value. So in us also talking about we don't want to draft to trade, I was thinking in the back of my head, okay, I've got the 106, I've got the 206, and I do have pieces on here that I could trade. It's the reason why I spent up a little bit more on Brissett and Heineke is because they're starting quarterbacks, right? And so I can go get a couple more 2nd round picks for those guys. I could probably trade Brissett and Heineke for a 2nd round pick. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, probably
that seems fitting to me. Yeah, right. And that's fine because then in draft, when we're going, I can go up and try to get some of these running backs since there's so many of them. And I can take a bunch of dart throws at running backs later on in this coming up draft. It's kind of my thought process on where I was at when I started punting the running backs because I was getting such great value on the wide receivers.
I like your wide receivers.
Yeah, I like some of the upside. I like the fact that Hill.
It's not anybody that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you got, but Hill,
yeah, but they're all really
Cooper,
productive spot
gonna be
guys.
solid, and yeah.
Yeah, then getting like Palmer, I really like Palmer because you got to think Allen's out this year. Williams is always hurt. He got run last year. At some point, it's got to click, and for $4, I'll take that potential click. And he's pretty young. Tony again, like when he was healthy and playing for KC, he was a touchdown machine. Pat looked for him; he looked really good. Sutton, I think, has a really big bounce back year. I think
I
Juju
like
going to New
Juju.
England. Yeah, I think New England's like a perfect spot for him. And then these other guys, they're fucking dart throws. I loved getting Renfro down here uh,
$3.
for $3. I loved that shit.
Now,
I
despite
really,
it being $5, I do like the Patrick pickup.
yeah, the Patrick Pickett was a waste of money.
But you're just blowing the rest of the cash. But
Yeah, it was just to
I,
make sure I didn't end up with
I
zero.
actually I think nominated him, and I was like, bastard.
Well, it was between, I can't remember who it was. It was
I
between
don't
him
either,
and
but
Allen Robinson and somebody else. I was like, one of these guys I want. And you threw him up, and I was like, well, fuck that. I'll just take him. He's here.
yeah. He's here, and I'm done.
Yeah, but overall, I got what I wanted, which was if I'm going to take dart throw somewhere, I'm going to do it at running back.
Yeah.
And I wanted to acquire decent depth at wide receiver to make sure I was deep there because they receive less injuries. And so I've got more guys for flex spots and whatnot. And then, yeah, come this draft, man, I'm going to hammer down on running backs in this draft like it's going out of fucking style.
Walk me through your tight ends here.
Okay, so Schultz for $4. He's going to be a
That's a good
target
deal.
machine. He's the only dude in Houston right now that is really worth a shit, or at least has shown he can be worth a shit. Hated having to go in and grab Njoku, but like the tight end room started dwindling down quickly.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, man, fuck it. If I'm going to go and triple down on something, let's make it Deshaun and his top 2 targets. And Njoku was an athlete. He's still really fucking young. Another thing I did in this was I looked at a lot of ages. And if you look on my team, I've got a lot of like 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old guys. So I got potential for more upside.
26, Njoku 26, Ferguson 24.
Yeah.
Oops.
Otten, a rookie. He's
Otten
the,
23.
Yeah, he's the new tight end there. And so like I kind of just tiered it out and just was like, all right, between Njoku being in there, and if he does what he normally does and gets me, low end tight end 1 numbers, I can still hope one of these other guys hit. Yeah, and let's keep in mind, I'm at the 206 in a draft where at 206, I could land Darnell Washington or the Kuntz guy or whatever. So I will be taking a shot somewhere in the second round. I'd like to get back up in the second round.
I think even at the 3, you have, you still got Musgrave, Kuntz, Laporta. Like, there's still going to be a decent tight end in that 3rd round because you got all those running backs that are going to.
Yeah, I'm really looking for. Man, this is going to suck this air, but fuck it, the league can know. I'll be looking for tight ends in the second round. Those values there. I don't want to go down and try to get a Musgrave or any of those guys that are like almost a guaranteed 3 years before they're productive. I want to get one of these guys who like is an athletic fucking freak and is going to step in somewhere and like get run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that ends with, I feel like it ends with Kuntz. I may be wrong, but like, I think those 4 guys have enough physical asset that they're going to step on a field in the NFL and play a little bit.
All
Let's
right.
break down this squad. I actually really liked your team.
I haven't really taken a look at it since the draft yet.
Perfect. Let's fucking destroy this fucking thing.
Okay. So, going Lamar, I came into most auction strategies. I want a good couple big pieces and then kind of fill it in with value and see what I can get. Was not expecting to spend 32 on Devonta, but we'll get to that second.
Shit happens, man.
Yeah, so Lamar, just a good value at 61. No?
No, I think it was great value. I think Lamar that is great value because one of 2 things is going to happen. He's either going to go back to Baltimore, he's going to play on that fucking 1 year because he has to, and they're going to continue to work on a long-term deal, or some team that really fucking wants him and can afford to give up any. Think of a team that can afford to give up 2 firsts right now. Like everybody's floating around like, what about Dallas? And what about this? Or not Dallas, I'm sorry. What about Atlanta? And yeah, and like Indy, like those teams can't afford to do that, right? They can't afford to be like, all right, we got the quarterback figured out, but we just got rid of our entire future to do it, right? He's going to go somewhere where they're like, okay, we'll give you our first this year, which is a late first, right? Because we were in the playoffs.
Yep.
And we'll give you our first next year. And then this is, the hit we take is we're going to get this contract. So he's going to go to a team that is in like that spot where all we need is a quarterback, which is a lot of teams. You know what I mean, right? Like a decent offense, they just can't get that guy. Like Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets freaks everybody the fuck out, right? They think it's just fucking amazing. But I think that's a better fit than the idea of Lamar going to the Jets, because then you just stymie that team's build, right? Because you went and got Lamar, now you're paying him, and now you can't afford to keep all the guys you had there that made it such a great thing for it. And now you're fucked. You just can't even bring in future guys. So I think Lamar stays put right the fuck where he's at. I think teams come out, they show him an offer, right? And then Baltimore is going to match one of these offers that's going to come out. Like a team will come out and put an offer out, but Baltimore's going to
eventually some money will go his way.
Yeah, so Lamar is in Baltimore, and to make it even better, because this is how much I like that you got him for $61. I think Bateman comes back healthy, Andrews comes back and just is a monster again. And if they had any fucking brains in their head, they go out and get DeAndre Hopkins right fucking now.
Yep.
Just go get it.
I think that would be the best fit.
Just go make a fucking run.
Playoff time.
Anyway,
all right.
I loved your running back.
So QB2, Garoppolo. Ritter was just a value at 6. He could start, but probably not for long.
Yeah, you really kind of cut yourself short on running back or on quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but you also didn't have much of a choice when it was all coming around. And you and I will talk, right? I got your hanky connection right there, buddy.
All right, so running backs, Brees, Najee, Rashad Penny. Kind of took some backups.
Yeah, I like the Carter. I liked the Carter for $2 a lot more than I liked the $11 you spent on Penny, Edmonds, and Strong collectively.
Yeah.
I like me some Kennedy Brooks. The Jordan Mason one, I love the Jordan Mason one, dude. Elijah Mitchell cannot stay fucking healthy.
Yeah.
I should have fucking probably tried to get him in there. I lost track of how many roster spots I had. And I was peeing when Elijah Mitchell got picked up. So I really like the Jordan Mason one. Really like the Carter one. I think that's, to me personally, where your depth's at.
Yeah.
If Penny actually plays a whole season, dude, that's a fire pickup right there.
That's what I'm hoping. And that you don't forecast injury. You don't forecast touchdowns, but he could have some good volume.
He's also a great trade candidate too. I mean, you got really young guys there that have shown. I mean, I know Brees tore his knee up last year, but like that was fluke of shit. It's not like he's shown to be an injury prone guy. So, you could roll out Hall and Harris for pretty much the whole year with the backup guys you've got. And if Penny rolls in 4, 5, 6 weeks, a good turnout, ship him off.
Jamar Chase, J-Mo, Devonta Smith. Yeah, Devonta I was driving the price a little bit and got caught in a handed cookie jar.
But what I really do like about your wide receiver core is not only is it a wide receiver core that like they're gonna get looks. Like all these guys are gonna see targets in games, right? But the fucking awesome part about it is all of these guys have big play potential. All these guys have 60-yard bombs in them, and that just sets you up for the week. And then everything else on top of that is just cherries, whipped cream, and sprinkles, man.
Yep. With a little bit more big play guys, Wandale, Tyquan, and that was kind of the thought behind grabbing them.
Yeah, I like the Boyd grab there.
And then Boyd and Sky Moore are hoping that they are more like a wide receiver 3 that I can flex.
Yeah, you hope they take the next step this year. Pretty rough years last year, but still. I like the tight end here. You got, Hurst is going to be, there's no competition there. He got signed to be the guy. And I love Trey McBride.
A rookie quarterback, and McBride coming up.
Yeah, I like McBride a lot. We got back and forth on a bidding war for him a little bit, but when it all came down to it, I just couldn't afford the fucking $10 you put on him. But yeah, I really like McBride. I think if he was in this year's draft class, we'd be talking with him like up there with Mayer, and even muddle it more with Kincaid.
Well, he was the tight end 1 last year.
Yeah.
And people just kind of forgot what happened because Dulcich got to have a huge touchdown, and then oh my gosh.
I'm still this year. I'm taking like Savior put McBride and Dulcich in this year. I'm still taking Mayer and Kincaid over them, and I'm mixing them in with the Darnell Washington group.
I'd still probably put it McCade, Dulcich, Washington.
Dulcich.
McBride.
Overall, decent draft.
Yeah. I would have to say it's one of those few that we're not like, okay, the team over here is just the slam dunk. They're going to make a run.
Yeah.
This team over here is team shitball.
I mean, we may have had a shitball or not here or there. Yeah, not bad at all. Good overall draft. A hell of a long fucking draft. 4 hours. If you've ever done auction, it takes up a little bit of time. And that was even with kind of smaller benches. Keep in mind, man, when you guys are listening to the things we're talking about, we're talking a lot of strategy within these things. just jot that stuff down. It's new ways to look at your roster and how your roster is affecting in your league and how others' rosters are affecting your roster. So be smart. Always be looking at things like that. Always take into consideration there are 12 other guys or 11 other guys in your league trying to do the same damn thing you're doing. So just try to outwork them. Make sure you're doing your homework. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to T1A. Make sure you hit the all so you see everything we're putting out. And let's just keep this train rolling.
All right. Sounds great. Have a great one.
Peace out.